Namaskar. For the last 2 months, and especially for the last 1 week, we have been talking about Manipur and we have been trying to dissect the problem of Manipur. We spoke to a victim, a Kuki, who lost her family members in this clash. We spoke to her a couple of days back. We spoke to a former law and order officer, ASP Brinda, yesterday. Today, I'm going to talk to the other side, that is the Meiteis. Let us understand this entire situation holistically. So what I've decided is I have spoken to Kuki, I have spoken to a former law and order officer, I'm going to speak to Meiteis today, and that's what my interview is. It's slightly longish, but do listen to this interview. It is slightly longish, but let's know their perspective. So today, let's talk to Dr. Rojesh Seram. Dr. Rojesh is a journalist, is a senior journalist. He is a sociologist. So let's understand from him what actually went wrong from a Meitei perspective. Let's get right into the interview. Doctor, tell me, to get into the questioning right away, what really happened?
It's very unfortunate that, it's actually we all have seen now, in the last more than 85 days, there is a constant, the ethnic classes are happening between the Kukis and the Meiteis, and it's very unfortunate because you know that the Manipur has been a very plural society like India. So there are 34 communities are there, recognized are there. So the Kuki tribes and even Naga tribes and the Meiteis are also there. So we have been living together peacefully, and but unfortunately this has happened. So it's very unfortunate that especially this physical violence actually started from the 3rd May, and then still is going on till now. So there are more than 140 people, precious life have been lost. More than 65,000 people have been displaced, and more than nearly 10,000 houses have been burned down. So it's a very very unfortunate situation, and but one very unfortunate thing is that the government of India and the state government have actually failed to curtail this violence, and women and children are actually actually suffering as usual in the conflict. So this is what I want to introduce about the conflict.
How did this all start? Was it because of that protest of Kukis?
No, actually, the idea of scheduled tribe is just for an excuse, I should say, because the protest was organized by the tribal students group, and in both all the Naga tribes and the Kuki tribes, they are opposing that the Meitei becoming demanding for the scheduled tribe. But this violence was never happened in the Naga dominated area. So this violence happened only within the Kuki dominated area when it was started in the Sorchanpur district, Tengnopol district, and Kangpopi districts, where Kukis are the majority and the Meiteis were the minority. So the question is, when the Manipur High Court actually have sent a given a recommendation, saying that the recommendation should be sent to the state government for inclusion of scheduled tribe, they actually know that this High Court order is not was not bounding, and is all suggesting for the recommendation. But they could have already challenged to the Supreme Court. Yes, later part they did, but this violence call for only for the scheduled tribe is uncalled for, and it was an excuse. Why I'm saying it was an excuse is because the violent, the kind of building up of this violence has been going on in the last 15 days onwards. So on 27th of April, the tribal, especially the Kuki groups, they have already burned down one the program which was supposed to be inaugurated by the honorable chief minister. So they were opposing that the chief minister was inaugurating a public gym, and the issue was in that burning of the gym. There was no issue of tribal issue. The issue was on four important issues. Number one, the eviction drive of the government of Manipur on the these Kuki tribes in from the forest reserve forest area. That is number one. Number two, there has been a complete crackdown of poppy plantation in the hill states of Manipur, and from the official report, more than 16,000 acres have been destroyed by the government. Out of this 15,000 square kilometer, 13,000 square kilometers of poppy hectares are in the Kuki dominated areas, and some of the portions are in the Naga dominated area. And so this is how it was. So there has been a crackdown against the poppy plantation, and of course these drug lords or even the businessmen in the drugs, they were not happy against the government. That is number two. Number third was the government of Manipur was initiating to identification of illegal migrants from Burma, and they have actually instituted a Manipur Commission, Manipur Population Commission, and they were actually intending to identify the foreign nationals who came after 1949. This is the number third, and the number fourth is the government of Manipur have withdrawn the tripartite talk with the suspension operation with the Kuki militants, saying that one or two leaders of the Kuki militant were from Burma. So, with many of these four important things, the some group of people were not happy against the government initiatives and their thing. So they were actually, it seems like they were waiting for a chance to actually blow up this kind of violence. And of course, this scheduled tribe against the protest was just an excuse, because no violence was happened in Ukrul, no violence was happened in Tamenglong in the Naga area. So it is only between the Kuki tribes and the Meitei.
You pointed
Yes.
out 4 points, and can I ask you on each point? The
Yes.
eviction that happened in the forest only happened to the
Yeah.
cookies, correct?
No,
So
no, 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 no.
okay,
No, it is not. So in the last 2 years, this government actually trying to, they have actually evicted from all the regions, from all the communities. And for example, the first eviction was drive in Thawal district 1 year before, and 120 Meitei families have been evicted from the reserve forest area. The second
correct.
eviction drive was in Imphal East district of the chief minister's own constituencies. That many Nepalese and even the Muslims, Meitei Muslims houses were evicted. And again in Langul area, the Naga tribes who were there in the forest, reserve forest area, they were also evicted. So it's not only that the cookies were the area. So it's not that.
The maximum evictions were cookies. That you
No,
can't
no.
deny, can you?
Like it is happened from that particular area, and as of now the report says around maybe nearly it's around 200 families, but in Thawal area it was around 120 families. The point is that it is related with the eviction of the forest, eviction from the forest. Of course, many of these the communities have actually against the government, because they were not given proper time. There actually was bulldozing, and then destruction was done, and the government did not do any kind of rehabilitation process. Yes, it was genuine concerns was there, but the eviction drive was not only the community that is wrong. That is actually wrongly, politicized of
Portrayed.
the particular thing. Yeah.
On point number 2, when it comes to
Yes.
poppy cultivation, okay, while I think everybody agrees that farmers, cookie farmers predominantly did poppy cultivation, but
Yes.
crackdown on drugs and crackdown on poppies can't be blamed to cookies alone. Because poppy cultivation as distributors, poppy cultivation as salespeople, poppy cultivation, I spoke to your former ASP, ASP Brinda, and and like she said, there is a whole host of people, including politicians, involved in poppy cultivation. So, wouldn't it be unfair to blame poppy cultivation only on Kuki and put everything on their head? Is that fair?
No, actually, again, it would be not fair that if some groups are only saying that they are being targeted, but we, as you rightly said, that this is a involved with multi-crore business, and of course the all the elites or even electoral the elected members in the government, or even in the powerful people, they would be involved in things, because as you know that without the support of the this elite and the ruling class of the community, across the community, I'm saying, the 50,000 crore business is not possible, because this golden triangle is shifting from three countries border, from the golden triangle to Manipur. So in many of the hill areas in Manipur has been it become a center for poppy plantation. So having said that, no other people or civil society do not blame the Kuki, as one says, and it is not that they are fully blaming the Kuki. And even
No, but
in the chief minister, if I quote you one, because they are saying a lot of misinformations and wrong data, that on 17 if I correct the date, on 18 April, the one of the biggest Kuki Hun festival was organized, and the honorable cabinet minister Nipsa Kevgen, she is a part of the cabinet. So she invited Chief Minister as a chief guest. So in that program, Chief Minister clearly said that this poppy, the war on drugs, is not against any community. And even Thadau is a very important community of Manipur, and it's the second largest tribal population in Manipur. So it's not against the community. And but this war, this drug or poppy plantation will really destroy our society and community across the community, irrespective of whether you're Kuki or Naga or Meitei. So we need to fight against these drug lords. And even
fair
he
enough.
appealed to the people. He appealed to the people, those people who stand agree that we should fight collectively against the drug lords should stand up. So everyone stand up, and then they said that they all agree. But the point is, these drug lords, the few, irrespective of the community they belong to, they were not happy above the government. So there is not saying that the cookies are never targeted for only thing. But only thing is that out of the 15,000 hectares have been destroyed, 13,000 hectares were in the from the cookie dominated area. So it's a huge number. So 19, yeah. So that is the point. So I'm just clarifying that.
The point that I'm trying to make is, finally, when it came to war against poppy, the Kuki farmers, you destroyed their farm. I mean, the government destroyed their farm. But what happens? How many drug lords were caught? How many politicians were put behind bars? Because see, when you're talking about war against drug, then Dr. Saab, it should be even and fair, isn't it? Then you should
Yeah.
catch the cultivators and you should also catch the salespeople. In fact, the
Yeah.
cartel, the entire cartel, how many of those were caught? That's the question.
Yeah. In that question also, as you know, that these drug lords are, their hands are very, very long. And then and as per the record from the government of Manipur, nearly, there are 1,100 people belong to the Meitei Muslims. They were arrested, as per record, I'm saying. And nearly 850 people of Kuki communities have been arrested, and 350 Meiteis have been arrested, and other few some numbers which is not identified have been arrested. So with this data, even the both all the communities, irrespective of the Muslims and then Kukis and Meitei, have been arrested. So this data shows that
How many politicians got arrested?
no politician, as you know, that their hands are very.
How
That is why. No, that is why.
how many top businessmen got arrested, Dr. Saab?
No, even in the case of Lokoya Joe and other, as you all know, that many of this is like even these people are saying that this 50,000 crores business would not be possible without the support and the network of the ruling elite. Not only them, the armed forces also. Like some years back, the defense minister, defense PRO, the high-ranking army were caught with drugs. So it's not only that. Even it's a very gray area. So the point is that, but of course, the fight against this drug lord it's a very actually good one, okay, for all of the community. So we should not politicize it,
No, no,
and we are not
it's not.
against that.
No,
We should not
Dr. Saab, we are not politicizing it. Let's keep politics aside of this. I'm just asking you from a pure social perspective, and you're a sociologist, so I can ask you that. You see, from a social perspective, finally, 13,000 hectares of land or acres of land were taken and destroyed of the of the Kuki community, which is fine. They are growing poppy, so they should be that should be destroyed. I'm not against that, but the point is, finally, the lowest hanging fruit, which is the Kuki community, got the maximum brunt of it. It is not just about being arrested. It is about being termed as drug lords. It is about being that is the reason why poppy is being cultivated here. And mind you, also this
no no
tripartite discussion.
no, in this point, actually, that is why the misinformation and the propaganda has been used. That we never said that they are the certain communities are poppy cultivator, or they have never said that. But some vested interest group actually they mobilize within the community so that they can take a war into a different community level. So if you have any record on record saying that particular community is actually drug law, so just bring out. So we are also trying to find out that even from the community also we are saying that this war on drug or even fight against the poppy plantations should be jointly together with all the communities, irrespective of that. So this is very clear, and we will
So
not allow.
why was the tripartite agreement discontinued? Why was that discussion terminated?
Like 1 month back, the government of Manipur, there was after the eviction of people from the forest land, there was a big protest happened in Kangpokpi and in some district in Chochampu. And at that time, the violent protest was happening, and then the police commandos were also being, there was a clash between the communities, and that after that event, I forgot the date of the event, but on that protest, the government have taken a decision that this chaos and the unrest was actually instigated by these two militant as part of the government of Manipur, and the two militant leader of the Shu was from Burma. So they said that you cannot talk with the Burmese leadership who are happens from the Burma. They are not belong to Kuki, Manipuri, indigenous like Kuki tribes. So that was the reason given by the government of Manipur. Of course, yes, I'm not actually supporting that they have done, but this was taken by the government of Manipur. The forest eviction was done by the Manipur government, and all the communities are affected. And the war on drug is also done by the government of Manipur and the police commando and other. It was not done by the Meitei. But the problem is, yes, I can understand that. And again, the third point, the very important point about the illegal immigrants. In that issue also, Manipur or any other community do not say that all the Kugis are refugees. We have never said, because as you know, that Thadau tribe is the second biggest number in Manipur, and they are very much part of our Manipuri society, like Tangkhul or Meitei. Yes, of course, they might be, migrating in Manipur maybe around 200 years, 300 years. That is the matter of investigation. The point is that since they are part of our society, they are also equal citizen of Manipur. But the problem is that there is a large number of migration happening after 1951 onwards. And because of the war in Burma, the sizable number of people have been migrated, and they are integrating within our society, and it become a threat for all the communities. Let me give you an example. In Mizoram, official record says that 40,000 Burmese are sheltered in Mizoram, and uh, and this is the official record, but unofficial record might be more. But it is not possible that you have 50,000, nearly 40,000 people are being sheltered there, but in Manipur, it's not possible that they are not migrating. only people Manipur, the community are saying that there should be a mechanism of identifying these foreigners or refugees from who have entered in Manipur, and with that mechanism, they may stay in Manipur, but they should be identified and they should be given some kind of pass as provided by the Mizoram government, and that is how it's saying. But the unfortunate thing is that any initiative government have taken for identification process has been considered as a threat to them. So they are opposing any kind of initiative. For example, the verification or even survey was started by government, but they said the survey cannot be done. So the point is that Manipur cannot be a land for everyone, as you know that, right? So some kind of mechanism should be there. Yeah.
Doctor, can
So
I
so
ask you
so
a question?
please
I
please please.
completely
You're
agree
very
to you. I
uh,
completely agree to you. I say that illegal immigrants, no matter who they are, should not be allowed in our country. I am with you on that. But the question is, somewhere down the line, cookies feel that they are being looked with suspicion. Every cookie is asked whether he or she is an immigrant or a original Indian. That's the first thing. At least that is what they feel. My question to you, doctor, is what have they done? If there has been immigration, it is not the cookie's job to stop immigration. It is the border security force's job to stop the immigration. It is the army's job to stop people, illegal immigrants coming into India. Number one. Number
yes.
two, you see, because there is illegal, there is immigration, and there is an ethnical brotherhood between cookies from Myanmar and cookie. They're the same. They're the same ethnically. They're the same. And if there is some kind of a bond, is that something that one should look down on a particular community? Is that fair, doctor?
I agree what you're saying, and again, yes, you rightly said that this is the duty of the state, Indian state, and the border security forces or Assam Rifle or any other security forces to check. Even today, there is the notification has been issued that in the recent time, even in this week, 650 foreigners have been migrated illegally coming to Manipur, and the Assam Rifle has identified those people, and now they also will be handing over to Manipur. This is 650. That is about today's notification. What is the failure of the state is that this is a porous border. Like if some people are coming from Pakistan, then all the nerves of the country are saying that infiltration from Pakistan. Even the Punjab is sharing with the border. The Punjabis are there, but still you need some kind of mechanism. But all these are not applied in case of Manipur, and then it was dealt with a very different manner. And they thought that this is a porous border; they can live whatever. It doesn't care for the Delhi. The last on in 2019 80, the students movement in 1980, the last biggest movement was already launched by the students. It's called All Manipur Students Union, and there was an agreement between the MSU and the government of India and the Manipur government to identify and to dictate and deport of the foreigners. So this issues has been going on from the last 40 years, but the government have not do anything else. Yes. So the if you do not have any mechanism, then problem is very large. Number
Correct.
third, then yes, yeah. If you have any
Sorry, sorry,
question,
sorry,
please.
sorry. No, please
Ah,
continue. Please continue. My
again,
apologies. Please
so
continue.
Manipur was also, as you know, that it was an independent state, country, and in the kingdom. After the British, Manipur became part of the British India, and then in 1947, Manipur became an independent state, and then they have elected government in Manipur, and Manipur became a part only after 1949 September, brought. But before that, we have one system called Foreigner Office. So any foreigner across from Burma or even from India at that point of time, they have to be registered, and the passes were issued by the Manipur Foreigner Office. So nobody is talking about this. So when Manipur was taken over by India, when I say the word taken over, it is official record says it was taken over in 1949. The first notification was the evolution of that permit system. So with that evolution, Manipur became an open door for everyone, and then people started coming from Nepal, from Burma, from any part. Then it actually make a threat to the indigenous people of the community, and then their numbers are sinking. For example, in case of Manipur, Meitei population in 50 years down the line, the population was 61. Now it is 41. In one sense, then again, 20 years back, the tribal population was the 31% of the population, but now it's 41%. So the number of the larger population of the Meitei becomes shrinking, and the space is also shrinking, because as the Meitei as a general, you are not allowing to settle in the hill area of 92%. And again there is a suspicion that many of these new people coming, they have gradually expanding the villages in many of the hill areas. And official record says that nearly 1,700 new villages, Kuki new villages, are asking for the recognition from the government of Manipur. But in the case of Nagas, there is no case of substantial increase of number. But official record says that the Kukis are demanding or for the recognition of nearly 1,700 villages. So we all know that there are a huge number of illegal immigrants from Burma, but it doesn't mean that the people who have already there, the Thado or Baite or Paite, they are part of us. But the issue is that those people who are coming from the Burma after 1951, after India became a republic. So that is the identification should be done. But the problem started when cookies have a problem with the government of India or state government. If they have any problem, necessarily all Meitei also have grievances. Even the Kuki also, Naga also, every community has grievances against the state. But the question is, if they wanted to demand against the government, they can do about whether it's for the eviction, whether it's for poppy plantation, whether it's for illegal migration, or whether it's for population, they can fight with the government. But they have actually the anger and the enmity against the state turned off into the Meitei. That is the beginning of this conflict. That is the beginning.
Dr.
That is why
Doctor, I want to
you're
answer
getting what
this
I'm
question.
saying.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely, I'm getting what you're saying. I may not necessarily agree to what you're saying. A lot of it, I do agree. Doctor, I want to ask you a question, and then I will come to your last part. The point is, we spoke about eviction. Okay, and the biggest sufferer for that, or at least that is what the cookies feel, that they have been singled out as far as forest evictions are concerned. You told me figures, that's fine, but as far as cookies are concerned, they feel they've been singled out. When it came to poppy cultivation, there is a whole host of people involved, but finally poppy cultivation, not only now, even before, when we talked about poppy cultivation, it was always the cookies who were supposed to be doing poppy cultivation, so they were singled out. Now let's come to migration. Now the point is, technically, like you and I both agreed, that migration is not something that the cookies has to stop. It is the government and the administration and the security that has to stop migration, but the cookies are blamed for it, and therefore they feel singled out. Now with all this, there is definitely a kind of a feeling of injustice in the cookies community. So that is one. Point number two, sir, is I'm coming to the second point which you raised, and I want to ask you that. Now let us come to this concept of whether cookies started it or whether Meitei started it. Clash was bad. What happened is ridiculous. The fact is, what happened to the Kuki community, the number of deaths that took place in Kuki community, the displacement that took place in Kuki community. I'm therefore not saying that Meitei community, there is no damage. Of course it is. Of course it is. But whatever happened, I am not even getting into Meitei and Kuki here. Whatever happened, don't you think the state government has looked the other way?
No, you maybe actually you were saying from the data of what other sides are actually campaigning, because they don't want to discuss on who started, because they don't want, then they are not very comfortable now. So they said that they are actually, many media people are also very confused, because they don't want to talk how this the problem was started. But yes, it's a matter of investigation that how the problem was started, but you cannot overlook that how this conflict was started. If you know that how and when the conflict was started, you will understand that how this problem will end. Without actually looking the real motive of this violence, you cannot actually control this violence. So, as a social science students, irrespective of whether which community you belong to, you need to understand the problem of this conflict and where it started, whether it's a plan attack or how this is happening. We cannot overlook that point. In that context, even in the many nation media, they never said that how it happened in Chochampur, and some newspapers said that the class happened. But when the media reported in Imphal, they clearly said that the Meitei attacked Kukis. But they will never report. They never said that the Kuki attacked the 12 villages, the old villages. Nearly, it's not a small number. It's a 1,800 families were completely driven out in one night, and nearly 5,000 people were completely thrown out from the Chochampur. That was on third. So we can debate on that. So now many researchers are bringing the testimonies and how it was started again. So it's not only attacking the Meitei. On the 3rd May, 16 forest officers were destroyed, were burned down during the rally. 16. It's official record. 16 officers. Okay, and the violence was already started from 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then it goes on. But again, around 4:30 in More Sandil district, where the Kukis are dominating, 300 houses were burned down in that evening in Chandel simultaneously. And again in Kangpokpi, in Ikauk village, was burned down around 5:30. Okay, so it was the massive burn down was happening in this area, and then the Meitei started violence at around 7:30 in Imphal. Look at the timing. So violence started from 3 o'clock onwards, and you have all the images in the social media, so you can point down when it started. So that is what I'm saying. The Kuki might have some problem or grievances with the government of Manipur, or then they should have deal with the government. They should have deal with the police. But they are not attacking the state government. They are attacking the Meitei. That is why, again, if, for example, in West Bengal, yes, the Gurkhas are demanding for the statehood. But if they started attacking the Bengalis from the Gurkha dominated area, what would happen? In Telangana, for example, the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana was there. So if the Andhra people started, Telangana people started killing or burning down in the demand of Telangana state, what would happen? So same kind of thing happened in Chochampur in this area. So let me
Dr.
check. Even I am throwing you this light so that you can also investigate that how this violence started. So I'm not actually saying that even today, in the last 80 days, the firing on the both sides is happening. But unfortunately, people are actually romanticizing that the majorities are attacking the minority, like in Gujarat and other. Many people are against the Modi, but that is why they are also looking suspiciously on the Meitei. Let me give you a fact. There are 54 Meitei being killed so far, as per the FIR, and 75 Kukis have been killed as per FIR. There may be number. So if you see the number is around maybe 20 people may be different. It may be different, and again, the house is burned. Yes.
Doctor, there were two women paraded naked, and there was
Yes.
no FIR. This happened on the 4th of May. There are now, one after another, there are situations, there are cases of murder, of rape, and there are no FIRs. Now the point is, it is not about whether who did this and how much and who started it. Of course, who started it is a big issue, because Kuki feels Meitei started it. Meiteis feel you are saying Kuki started it. But the fact remains that somewhere down the line, can I ask you a very simple question, sir? Sir, there was a gentleman called Pramod Singh who went into Karan Thapar's interview and said that we are going to evacuate those 15 kilometers of land. Sir, where did that come from? He was talking on behalf of Meiteis, and he's a cultural head. Head of a cultural organization. My apologies. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Like you're saying rightly, and then many people have opposed what he said. And again, like as a Meitei is a very diverse community, it's not necessarily that one particular voice will represent the whole. Okay, and and what I also listened what he said, and many other people, like even the community, are also not endorsing the what he's saying. In that sense, that is what I am saying. Like it is not necessary that all the Meitei will follow the one particular thing because it's a very diverse community. Even in the religious also, the Meitei are Christian, the Muslim, Jains, Sahib Baba, and the Sanamahi religion. So it's not only one religious community. So and the very diverse group of things are there. Yes, of course, if I remember correctly, what he said in the context is, if I may be wrong, he said that the government of India should do something that the road have been blocked for many years in the national highway, and if this national highway is not free, then he was intending to actually give a warning that they will actually free this national highway. That is what I understood, but many people said interpretation may be in different way. Even though what I feel is that this is a complete failure of the state government and the central government. I may not blame to the community, because what is the role of the responsibility of the state? The role of Manipur is part of India, and the union government have a moral responsibility to protect the life of both Kukis and Meitei, because we are citizens of India, and all this problem needs to be resolved by the government of India, because the migration or illegal migrations related with the external home minister of the government of India, right? But the point is why the center has failed. That is the point, because yes, when the 3rd May, the many Meitei families were destroyed, burned down. The police commando were not there, even though they are blaming that the commandos are helping the Meitei, but there was no one. The commandos were no one. Assam Rifles was no one, nowhere when the houses were burned down. Even in Moreh also, there was no one. Assam Rifle was watching. They are not doing, and they were just living as a silent spectator. On the 3rd, it happened. On the 4th, it happened in the valley. The fire reached to Imphal, and then there was also that happened. But from the 5th onward, the home minister directly into taking charge of the law and order under Article 355, and the security advisors was appointed on the 5th, and more than 30,000 Indian armed security forces have been deployed. Then who is responsible for that? The central government is directly responsible for that. But in the case of Gujarat, when the police are literally not doing in the Hindu mobs, but when the army intervenes, within the 8 days, the situation was under control. But why, with the armed forces, security forces deploying in Manipur, in Chandel, in Chochampur, with 90 days, about 85 days, are you saying that the Indian army are not able to control? Or are they playing politics? I don't believe. I don't believe that India is the second, 4th largest military power in the world. And if they sincere, they can immediately stop this violence. But unfortunately, what happened? There is a politics behind it. Whether Kuki is dying, whether the Meitei is dying, it doesn't matter to Delhi. It was only after that unfortunate video was circulated in social media, all of a sudden people came, oh, there is a problem. But the Manipur has been burning for the last 80 days. The Prime Minister had not spoken a single word. What about all the civil society and other? Now, my point is that it is just othering. It doesn't matter whether it's a Kuki or... That is how, when the state completely collapses, what to do? Then the people are themselves arming themselves to defend themselves. It's not a role, it's not a duty of the public to defend their village. It's the role of the security forces to defend the village. Am I wrong? Then why these more than 50,000 armed forces are not able to contain the problem? There are reports are coming in many villages in Shero. I will give you one example. In Shero, the community, the Meitei community, one of the leaders said that they have informed to the Assam Rifle leader that the Kukis militant bunker have been established nearby. They may be attacking the Meitei villages. Even the Kukis and the Meitei within that local area, they have an agreement that they will not attack each other. So even that violence was not raised in that particular area. Okay, even in the it was started from May 3rd till May 28th. The violence was not reached to the shadow, but on May 28th, the Meitei villages were attacked because the people have already informed the Assam Rifle that there may be attack to the villages. Please protect them, but they did not come up. It was as per a report from the community leader when we try to. There's multiple reports are there that when the village still look at the Torvung area. So Torvung was the first village was attacked in the border with the Chosampur and Kangbai. Even 70 and 80 days later, yesterday again it was attacked in the presence of the BSF and Assam Rifle. If you are saying that the epicenter of the village is still not protected, that the Kuki militant coming with the last number and they burned down 15 houses yesterday, are you saying that you cannot protect these Meitei villages? And all the valleys are being surrounded from the Kuki militant, and if they keep attacking every day and night, and on the other side they are playing the victim card, please find out that out of 60,000 displaced, how many Meitei family, how many Kuki families are there. You will know that. So that is why even the Meitei who lives in this part of the world for the last 2,000 years, 3,000 years, we become a refugee in our own home. And some vested group, they are also now trying to portray this problem as a religious war. It was not a religious war. Look, in European Union and other, they are campaigning against, like, Christian minorities are being attacked. It's actually bad shit for the Indian also, but it is not against the Christian. Like, still in Imphal, more than 200-300 churches are there. The Naga churches and many other churches are still there. If you please ask anybody of them before the 3rd May, was there any issue of the church being attacked by the Meitei in the history of Manipur? Please ask them. But I will give you about 10 examples that the Meitei religious places have been burned down by the miscreants in the Kuki dominated area. Who did that? I will tell you one example, okay? Because the Meiteis are Vaisnavites in one sense, but still they follow the Sanamai religion. And the Meitei believe that from their tradition that their origin from the Kobru Hills. And Kobru Hill is an inseparable part of your life and death and the Meitei. There are 4 gods border: Kobru, Hangzing, Marjing, and the Wangbrain. And these 4 gods are very secret of the Meitei community. But 2 years before, that Kobru Hill range have been burned down. Because we also pray forest as our secret place. Kobru Hill range were burned down 2 years before. There was no reaction from the Meitei. The another goddess Kaunu, that was also burned down. Again, 5 days before, on April 19, Ividau Pakhangba, the god of Ividau Pakhangba, was burned down in Chochampur before the 3rd May. Okay, and this burning down of the secret place was happening before the 3rd May, from the 2 years back onward. And then what happened? You all see. Please check all this, but Meitei followers are very. Meitei followers are very few.
Dr. Sam, what you're saying is, and I'm sure you will agree to me, 2 wrongs will never make a right. The fact remains that you say that Cookies attacked Meiteis constantly, is what you're saying. But finally, you saw a Meitei, a Kuki woman being raped, women being raped. You saw Kuki women being raped and murdered. So somewhere down the line, there is wrong. That's absolutely wrong. That's absolutely unacceptable. So I don't think anybody is right here and anybody is wrong here, Dr. Saab. I think that will be the way one can put it. I mean, it is wrong. What happened is absolutely appalling, isn't it?
Yeah, you are right. You're absolutely right. Because I'm talking about the religious campaign happening. In that context, I was saying that only churches was not attacked. Okay, that is one perspective. But across the world, they don't understand Sanamahi. They don't understand about the religion. That is why all across the world are standing because they being misinformed that the Christians are attacked. But the point is that Meitei Christians
No,
was
misinformed,
also
doctor. We can't necessarily say misinformed because there were churches burned. 250 odd churches were burned. So that is
my
not
no.
misinformation.
My
It
point
actually
is
happened.
that the attack on the religious places is not only in the Christians. So both these the religions, the Hindu temples and the secret place have been burned down. But why the
Fair enough.
religious
Fair
community?
enough,
No.
doctor. Doctor,
So
that
my
happened. That happened. Therefore, this should happen. That is not the way it works, is it? I mean,
that
end of the day, when you report, you are a
no,
journalist. You know it better. When we
no,
report
that is
something, we report the incident.
No, that is what I'm saying. We should condemn all kind of attack on the religious places, not selectively to the Christian, not selective to the Hindu, not selective to the Sanamahi. As a person, we should actually try to help the people in the burning, not citing as a religious line, not citing as a political line. We really want that this happen is not against the religious fight. So all the religious symbols have been destroyed even in Chochampur, the Chochampur, this even the Christian mind. Like, if you really surprised to know that there are 1,40,000 Christian Meitei Christians are there, because the Meitei was the first who converted even in Christian, even more, even
Yes.
older than the Kukis and Nagas. But it's still the Meitei Christians are there. But when the Chinchochampur houses were burned, even Christians were not spared. My point is that this is a community war, and one should not campaign to actually take a privilege for against the Christianity or against the Hinduism. We should stop. That is what I'm saying. I'm I'm
Fair.
I'm standing in a very, as a human perspective, that we should not bring the religious kind of angle in this war and not use the victim card. Yes, you bring
Fair.
one issue
Fair.
about the women, the viral case you have
Hmm.
said. It's very, very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. My tears were coming out when I see that. My wife still coming from the trauma. Every Meitei women coming, even yesterday also there was a big thousands of women protests happen in Imphal, and they are saying that those people should be punished and it should not be acceptable in Manipur. As you know, that Manipuri society, even in Meitei society, women have a very important role. And if someone is doing that kind of thing, then it will not acceptable. Having said that, if you also assume that there is no any such kind of sexual assault happening in other, it may be wrong, because yes, one video might have come, but there are many other incidents probably happening also. If I report you, there is another girl lady from Meitei. In the last 70 days, she has been missing, and the FIR has been launched. She is not even tracing back. We are not able to trace her. We don't know in which conditions she would be living. I pray that she is safe. She is actually safe. Not only her, every woman, whether it's a Kuki or Naga or Meitei. So we should not actually make this, you know, you know, affect the women and children. We should have that kind of, even I will appeal to you through this medium, that yes, Meitei, as a Meitei, if you also know that the Meitei have a war conduct, even during the kingdom time, when the the Manipuri forces go to the some kind of war in any other country, there is a reputation that Meitei, Lanmi or Manipuri forces never attack child and children. So that kind of culture and war conduct is there. So I would appeal to everyone, especially the Meitei, the we should not, you know, harm the sister and women and children. And the again, that is what I appeal. So we cannot support any kind of, even though in the war we should have some conduct, right? We should have some conduct, we should have some principles, you should not kill the person under the custody. So it is there. So we condemn it.
Dr. Saab,
And
only difference here is there is no war going on, and I think violence of any kind, is condemnable. I mean, whichever community it is absolutely condemnable. Forget about women and child touching anybody or have violence in anybody in a democratic country like ours, where that's wrong, isn't it?
I respectfully disagree what you're saying, because what is happening in Manipur is not simply a communal riot. It's happened in Gujarat or in Delhi or any other places. Because in this conflict, the armed militant involved attacking the villages. Look, in the Chochampur, when many people are saying that the Sioux militant, because this is not fighting between the community, like the group of people coming to attack. It's not. The whoever is attacking have the sophisticated arms and ammunition and AK-47 weapon, sniper. Then that is why if we want to ignore, that is another matter. But the fact is, this is a civil war happening, and the fighting is with the fully armed militant. That is why when these villages in Chochampur, many places, the armed militant were involved in attacking the community. In other side, they do not have arms. So they were forced to, overpower to the police station and armory and other. The point, if the other side is not armed, then there should not have been such kind of attack each other. So only one thing one hopes is that if we want to bring peace right now, because Manipur deserves peace, and it should not be lingering on. It should not be continuing for long. It cannot be. So what we need to do is that both the sides, there should be a disarm of both the sides, because you cannot bring peace under the barrel of gun. The central government has to intervene. That because when even there are many reports in Indian Express and other with Assam Rifles hands are tied because they are with the suspension operation with the other side, the Kuki militant. So they cannot take action against them because they have some relations. Until and unless they are not attacked, they may not be in take action because they have some kind of agreement. But the people are saying that if other group of the militant group have violated the term and condition of the suspension of operation, then government should take action against that. Government should take action against the Kuki militant, against the Meitei armed group. They cannot be in the middle. They cannot be in the middle. So they have to take a firm stand. They have to perform the constitutional duties of maintaining peace and order, because Manipur is part of India. Kuki is a citizen of India. Meitei is a citizen of India. You cannot look watching as a spectator when the other group are having arm and attacking the village. You cannot do politics. You have to act. You have to act. You have to ensure peace. You have to show that state is there. The security forces are there. So the civil.
Why do you think center is not reacting? Why do you think state is not reacting? Why are they so inactive? What is the reason behind it?
No, the reason, that's why I'm saying, that is why, if you're saying that 60,000 or 50,000 armed forces cannot control this violence, that means you are wrong. Either you are not doing action, or you are just watching it, or you are playing with that. You cannot say that, okay, there are nearly 60,000 forces, we can't handle. You can't say that. So the first thing is that when the government of Manipur give a recommendation, cabinet decision to the central government that these Sioux militants are involved in other activities, that relationships should be suspended. But the central did not listen, because they overruled the opinion of the state government, and they are talking secret talks with them. At the other time, many people are saying that they are involved in this war, but they are not taking action against them. Rather, they are secret talks with the Delhi. That means there's some kind of play are happening, right? There's some kind of politics is happening. That is why
absolutely.
But
then, Dr. Saab, the way you're removing state government out of this, I think that is not fair either. I put this submission because see, state government is this is a local riots which started off as a local clash. Do you think the state government couldn't have stopped it in 3 days, 2 days? It was a clash, for crying out loud when it started off.
So when the state says that state wanted to take action with the Sioux Kuki militant, but the center says no, and they cannot do. So they have a this is a very tricky area. So state opinion or cabinet decision is have been denied by the central government, and now they are having talks with them, but they are not doing some kind of confidence. For example, if they are doing meeting with the Kuki militant, they should have invited the state government also. Now, even in Delhi, they have talk a separate talk with the Kuki MLA. They invited with the Naga MLA. No, my point is that
but Dr. Saab, your own BJP MLAs are not comfortable with the current CM. Cookies are not comfortable with the current CM.
then
Dr.
no,
Saab.
no,
So,
my sincere appeal is that even they cannot speak in Imphal, why can't they invite? They being invited all the groups in Delhi. Why even they are separately meeting to one group and other? Why can't they invite both the Kuki civil society and Naga civil society in Delhi under the leadership of Prime Minister, under the leadership of Home Minister? Why they are not saying that you should not fight each other because you are all people? Why they are not doing? Why they are not doing? Who stopped them? The government they actually brought a force to call the chief minister in Delhi. Why can't they call all the MLA? Why can't they call all the MLA? If they have a genuine concern, if they want to really stop this violence, they could have done it. If there is no any politics, from 5th onward, the law and order has been under the control of the Home Minister. The security forces, the army, and all these are under the command of the Home Minister. Okay, it's not that kind of same. Simply like even the DGP was replaced with the other DGP. Even the security advisor was appointed, and the last number of armed forces were there. They were under the control of the Home Minister.
Dr. Saab, there is a sitting chief minister. The chief minister was not dethroned. He is the chief minister of the state. While there are central forces, that central forces also goes by what the chief minister tells them. It is not that the home minister comes and commands the state, Dr. Saab. I'm sure you know it better than I do.
No, it is a very tricky area because if you see all the press conference initially, it was all done by the security advisor, not by the chief minister. So chief minister came only after even just few weeks back. All the security meeting, even the chief, it was only after the people demanded that chief minister should chair the unified command. Otherwise, if the security advisor was the chairperson of that. So this is a very tricky area. That's what I'm saying. There is no clear agenda. There's no clear role and responsibility. Even one says that Article 355 was imposed. Again, after some days, they said no, it was not enforced. So some playing is happening. My only suggestion as a citizen of this country is that why Prime Minister is not speaking? Why the Honorable Prime Minister should visit to Manipur and with all the parliamentary member, and they should try to intervene and try to bridge the community. But that is not happening. That is not happening. If this has happened in other states, will they deny that kind of thing? If this happened in Bangalore or any other state, it will never do. When there was a national calamity happened in Odisha, immediately on the 3rd, Honorable Prime Minister visited there. But still, 90 days have already done, and still the Prime Minister is not going there. It means that it's a step-matter treatment. It doesn't matter whether the Kuki is dying, Meitei is dying. It is only after the unfortunate videos happened, the Prime Minister was forced to speak. And all over the world think that there is a problem. My only thing is that there is some very sincere effort has not been done from the central government. The communities are fighting. Yes, there may be some grievances. We should talk. The Kukis and Meitei should talk and discuss what others possible because we live together. That is why we are saying that even whether it is a war on drug on other, you cannot generalize any particular community in war. So we have said in the civil society, you cannot do that. You cannot do that because this is a international problem. Because the Golden Triangle has been shifted from the hill area with a drug cartels. So we have to find out them. We have to fight together.
Doctor, to summarize, I think be it Meiteis, be it Kukis, be it Nagas, I think, and be it Manipur, I think India cares. India cares a lot, and India currently is bleeding for Manipur. All of us are sad for what is happening, and we are all with you. That said, thank you so much, Doctor, for talking to us. Thank you so much, and your point of view has been so clear and so crystal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. And of course, I'm trying to be as a Manipuri, and I'm trying to represent both the voice. And yes, of course, the Kukis and Meitei are very much part of our society, and we have to live together.